Hey everybody, this is JP, and today we're going to talk about creating the stress-free abundant lifestyle by using this worksheet. And so this is an interactive worksheet, so if you haven't downloaded this, I encourage you to do so. And as we're going through the video, perhaps you may want to enter your own numbers because it certainly makes a difference. Many times when we get into a commission-based sales opportunity, one of the major problems that we encounter or what people face is the fact that they really don't know what it takes in order to achieve their goals. We're going to go ahead and demystify that today by going through this worksheet. But second, when you don't understand what you're pursuing, that is a recipe for disaster, a recipe to fail. So when we're locked on and engaged in our goals, this is why we decided to join New York Life so we can make those goals happen for our life. So as we go through this worksheet, I want you to think about the number one question, and that is, what is your number one financial goal? What is it that you're trying to pursue? Perhaps you're in a situation where you want to buy a new house. Maybe you need to buy a new house, or you need to buy a car. Um, some of us have some major needs. It's not a function of luxury. It's a function of, I need to make this happen. So whatever that number one financial goal is, I want you to put that at the top. Okay. That's going to be most important. Okay. For many of our agents, it's creating an emergency savings account. Perhaps you need a $50,000 emergency savings account. Sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. It is a ton of money, but you can move through $50,000 relatively quickly, especially when you're launching a new business. And so write down your number one financial goal. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a moment to do that. You may want to pause the video to think about it, map it out, do it if that is so. Okay, so number one financial goal is now set. So let's go ahead and jump in. And as you're looking at this number one financial goal, we're going to figure out what is your monthly expenses are, what they are every single month, and how do they tie into that goal? Okay, so for instance, let's assume you need to buy a new car and you want to be able to put $5,000 down. So we're going to put buy a new car. All right, so now we got our $5,000 down payment, and that may take you a few months to collect. But before we do that, we got to make sure that our mortgage and our groceries and all our necessities are met. So let's go ahead and do that. Recently, I was talking to one of our new agents, and my expenses are completely different than hers. And so I kind of asked her to share with me what her actual mortgage and rent and groceries and telephone are. So because that's probably going to be similar to where you're starting off. For me, it's probably upwards of $18,000 every month that is required. Listen, required for me to pay our expenses. If I make less than $18,000 a month or so, we won't even be able to like afford food on our table. And so now it's all relative. I have friends where if they're not making $100,000 a month, they can't pay their bills. And so it's all relative based on your lifestyle. But I was talking to one of our agents, so this is what she wrote down. You know, when we looked at rent and mortgage, it was $900. That's what she pays. So she put that number in there. She is a single mom, has two kids, so groceries is important. But she told me that groceries really didn't exceed $500 a month. So and this is all monthly expenses, okay? Now, telephone, when we look at telephone, this is a whole number, as many of y'all know. Who has a telephone in their home anymore? It's actually zero because her cable, internet, and cell phone are all tied into the same number. So we're going to put that down here under internet. Electricity, and gas. She said that was about $150 a month here in Albuquerque. Water, sewer, and trash was about $70 a month. cable TV, we're going to put zero, but we are going to put $250 in the internet section. And the internet section included, like I said before, her cable, her internet, her cell phones, and one of those package deals through like CenturyLink. And so it's about $250 a month for her. Maintenance and repairs. Now that could be, if you live in a if you live in a home, if you own your home, you're always repairing something, or if your oil changes and your, whatever it takes to, to make sure everything's good. So I'm probably going to put $100 a month here based on her numbers. Now, in her situation, both of her kids are teenagers, so childcare is not part of her expenses. However, if you have young kids, you're going to have child care expenses, whether you're putting them in daycare or you have an after school program. So you're going to want to put that number in here. That's going to be an important number. That's part of the reason why you came to New York Life, because you want to spend more time with your family, more time with your children. And so go ahead and put that number in here. Tuition, she sent her kids to public school. However, college is coming up, and so tuition may change. She has a little puppy, so we're going to spend about $100 a month on the puppy. Transportation, okay, this is going to be for our vehicles. And when we look at transportation, we're not talking about the auto loan, because the auto loan is going to be under the loan section, but we are talking about like fuel and what it takes to keep things moving. She drives a lot, so it's about $450 a month. That's a large expense, but I take that back. No, she pays for her kids' gas, so it's about $450 a month. Personal care. So, guys, you usually just need a haircut, maybe the occasional massage, but women like to get their hair done. They like to get their nails, the pedicure, the mani-pedi thing, and so you want to put that number in here. She put about $200 a month here. Insurance. So we look at your auto, your home, your disability, your health, your umbrella insurance, all the different insurances. It was a nice hefty number. It was about $850 a month for her. Credit cards. We're trying to get out of credit card debt, but many of us have credit cards. We've got to make those payments. We got credit card debt. Now, when we look at our loans, we're taking a look into student loans. We got auto loans. We have all types of different, personal loans. And so for her, because of her and her 3 kids, what we're looking at is about $1,000 a month. We looked about another $1,000 a month for taxes. That's including income, state, and property tax. She likes to give to her organizations that she supports, so that's about $150. Now, we talked about savings, and she is saving $500 a month. Now, here's the other thing that we're looking at. She is looking to buy a new car, and she wants to put $5,000 down. So in this particular case, we want to do that within the next 10 months. So guess what we have for others? We have $500 a month going to our savings plan just for our for that goal of having a new car. So we're going to put 0 here. And when we talk about the Abundant Lifestyle Fund, this is saving some serious money towards the future and the things that you need. This is where you want to start saving a majority of your income once you're making excess of your monthly expenses. Right now, we're going to put 0 in it, knowing that these numbers are going to change. And so I'm going to challenge our agents to do this every single year, because what you're going to find, if your monthly need was $6,900 and you're making $15,000 a month on average, then we can do some really cool things with your Abundant Lifestyle Fund. But for the time being, we're going to put 0. Now, for some of us, we have other income. We have maybe some type of annuity payment, or we have some type of alimony or child support, or we have another spouse working. This is where you would put their income in here, so you can get a real number. This particular agent is a single mom, although she gets some child support. The child support's ending here in the next couple of months, within the next year or so. So right now we're going to put 0 for her other income. And that number per month that she is required to make is $6,920 per month. She needs to make that. Now, I'm sure she can go through this list and she can pull back on groceries or electric or gas. Sometimes it's maybe $90. I get that. It's seasonal. She can pull back on, she's paying over on her credit cards, and, maybe a loan may come off. So things are going to change, but right now it's $6,920. And so now when we get into the numbers, you're going to look at this line item. On line item 29 says the stress-free abundance is $6,920. Anything in excess of $6,920, you start moving into the stress-free abundance zone, okay? So in order for this number to be achieved, we're looking at a net first-year commission needed of $4,150. And you're saying that number doesn't match up. Well, it does, because it's taken into account the training allowance bonuses you receive in your first year, along with the case rate bonus, provided that you max these out. And based on these formulas, we're maxing them out. The second aspect to what we're doing is we are doing 75% of our business is going to be life insurance, and 25% will be based on annuity business. Okay, so those are terms that you should be familiar with now that you move through the interview process. And so annual life insurance premium is $5,659, which will give us a total commission of about $3,100, okay? If we brought over $29,000 of rollover assets, that's going to equate to about $1,000. When you add up the training allowance and the case rate bonus, guess what you hit? Total comp numbers. Now, your number is going to be different. There's no doubt. So let's just say this number right here was a lot less. Let's take out the $1,000 that we have here. Guess what? Your number is a lot less. It's $4,900, not $6,900. Well, look at what happened. Your numbers changed, okay? So for the sake of argument, we're going to put these numbers back. Excuse me, I was in the wrong area. We're going to put these numbers back into the equation. As you can see, you can work this worksheet any way you need to, and that's going to tell you exactly what you need to do in annual life insurance premium and annuity premium in order for you to hit your numbers, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to move down to the next section, okay? The next section we're going to look at is how many cells would it take to achieve the stress-free abundant lifestyle. Okay, we talked about the life insurance commission rate is 55%. So let's assume that our average client will invest $100 a month into their future to protect their family against loss of income due to death, okay? Well, if your average client is spending $100 a month, you only need 4.72 cases per month in order to achieve that goal. That's all you need. Now, what's fascinating is that the better client that you begin to prospect, the easier this number becomes. However, if you don't take time to master the skill set, this business becomes tough. Let's assume for a moment that your average client only spent $30 a month on life insurance because you did not master the skill set of qualifying prospects or delivering value to your prospect. That number turned to 15 sales per month. That's a lot of stress. You're going to have to find 15 to 16 people every single month to spend $30 with you to achieve your goals. Let's assume you take time and you master the skill set and you prospect the right type of clients, and your average client spends $250 a month with you. You only need almost 1.89 clients. What if you got really good, and your client spends on average, your average client spends $750 a month on life insurance. Like, you just need half of one of those guys, right? So let's change it back to $100 a month. Let's assume, so if you sold 4.72 people, let's just round it up to 5. You sold 5 people $100 a month policy, life insurance policy. Is it possible that one of those 5 people have a previous 401k or a previous some type of CDs and sitting in a credit union where it may make sense for them to roll it over into a New York Life annuity? The probability is extremely high, okay? It's very likely that 5 out of 5 clients, they have some form of assets that they can move over to you. It's a matter of doing the right thing for the client all the time. You never want to sell a client something because you need it. You always want to put your client first. That's huge in this business. And that's a rule and law that you must live by, because it works out the best, and that's how you're able to have a long, prosperous career, by putting your client first. But let's assume for a second New York Life was the right solution for that particular client. Of course, it's highly probable you can move $25,000 over. So you need roughly a little bit over 1 client to do that. And between roughly 6 clients a month, you can achieve your stress-free, abundant lifestyle. 6 clients a month, and you hit your goal, okay? That's almost $7,000 a month of income coming in with only 6 clients. Guys, where do you do that? Where can you do that? I don't know another career where you can just pick up 7 clients a month, 6 clients a month to make $7,000. Now, here's the thing. It's all about driving activity. It's all about driving prospecting activity. So let's assume for a second, okay, that half of the people that you talk to will meet with you, 50%. That means in order for you to achieve 6 sales in a month, you need to identify roughly 30 prospects. 30 qualified prospects every single month. Is identifying 30 prospects worth $7,000 a month? You know what? If it's not, like, this is not the career for you. 30 new prospects that are qualified can give you stress-free, abundant lifestyle. So we understand that out of those 30, half of them are going to meet with you. So that's 15 client meetings for this number in a month. We also know that if you're good at what we do, if you're good at presenting value and taking clients through our sales process, we know that 75% of those folks will give you what we call a fact finder, that they'll allow you to help them with their financial goals and dreams. And if you're really good at what we do, we know that 70% of those people will buy from you. Like, we know that ratio, okay? We know that 7 people should buy from you. So how many clients will go? Guess what? This number and these numbers are tied to each other, okay? So these are monthly numbers. Well, guess what? This is what breaks down to our weekly goals right here. We need 7 new names gathered every single week that are qualified prospects. Now, there's a difference between a prospect and a qualified prospect. We're going to talk about that in a future course. You need to set 3.6 new appointments. New appointments. Okay, now you're saying, JP, you told me I need to have 10 appointments a week. The answer is yes. Now, 4 of those people are going to be brand new. 5 or 6 of those people are going to be brand new. You got some fact finder appointments, you got some closing appointments, and you got some policy delivery appointments baked into your weekly calendar. So this is only dealing with brand new activity. To tell you the truth, guys, this number is really low in my opinion. There's going to be a learning curve. So at first, you're going to mess up and you haven't really developed that skill set. It's like riding a bike. You're not going to ride you're not going to go on a triathlon, marathon, whatever, you're riding your bike on your first week if you just learn how to ride a bike. It's going to take some time to build that up. So the more people that you see, the more clients that you present to, the stronger that muscle becomes and the more effective you become. So initially, we probably should look at this number a little bit differently when you're first launching your business, but you need to put a lot of effort into it to launch this career. But after a while, you only need a few sales per week in order for you to maximize your income to hit your stress-free abundant lifestyle goal, okay? What I love about this, these numbers can all change. What if this number here was, what if we wanted to put $15,000 into this number? Oops, excuse me. We wanted to put $15,000 a month into this number. It changes. Well, guess what? You can do it. It's $19,000 a month in commissions. Okay. Now, and your average, you got good at what you did, and this number changed to $500 a month, and this number changed to $150,000 a month in rollover. Did you just see what I did? Finding 4 to 5 people a month to spend $500 a month into their future and having one person roll over $150,000 for you can generate a $21,000 a month income. By the way, you will see some of your colleagues who are here in their first 18 months doing this type of monthly production, and this is how they do it, okay? So I hope this worksheet will allow you to draw and paint a picture on how you're going to achieve your goals. You have to start with your monthly expenses. Then we're going to look at exactly what is required in order for you to achieve your goals with your average size per client and your weekly activity goals, okay? Now, the better you get, the easier these numbers are to achieve, okay? So take time, really study the numbers. When you're done with this, give me a call, and I want to schedule a time to review this with you. It may make sense if you're married or you have a significant other. Let's do this together because they need to know what these numbers are too, because they're going to be your greatest support system. So work out your numbers. Let me know. Let's schedule a meeting once you complete this so we can review it. Now, I encourage you to take time and think this through because this is the beginning of achieving everything you ever desired through a career at New York Life. You have a great day, and let's make this thing happen.